Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry now for the rookie, Dalvin Cook. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
Minnesota had a very optimistic vision of what they would do on offense in 2016, but a couple of key injuries altered that landscape. Running back Adrian Peterson and quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. That led to them scrambling throughout the season to try and fit together their offense, try to put the running game and a new passing game together, and instead of having a big year, they finished 28th overall in total offense.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
After Kwon Alexander was drafted by Tampa Bay, I asked someone in the organization, where are you going to play him? Outside linebacker? And they said, no, we're actually going to play him in the middle. And that surprised me because of his size. But as they told me, this is a speed game in the NFL now, and there won't be any faster middle linebackers than Kwon Alexander, who uses his speed to evade blocks, slip blocks, and run down ball carriers.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Off the play fake to Cook. Here's Bradford. And that's caught inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
The numbers a week ago for Cook. 20 carries, 82 yards.
And he scored his first touchdown of the year in last week's game. So now he's hoping that helps establish a rhythm. And maybe now he can score a few in bunches, starting with this one.
On second down, Cook. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Forbath will put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
The first carry here for Jaquiz Rogers. And they'll just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by... the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The first carry now for Doug Martin. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
On 2nd down, Martin. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Griffin. This is caught by Jackson. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Throw it long, it could be a big play. You throw it short, it could be a big play for Deshaun Jackson. Yards after catch, always a big part of his game.
Talking about speed, only Tyreek Hill was measured with a faster play last year than Deshaun Jackson, who hit 22.6 miles per hour on a touchdown versus the Cardinals in Week 13. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run. Martin. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Martin a week ago. 20 carries, 93 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league. Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Griffin. And this is going to be incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And Aguayo able to knock it through. And that will tie us at 3-3.
And much was made that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers spent a 2nd-round pick. Heck, they moved up in the 2nd round to draft Roberto Aguayo and had a real up-and-down first year. They even brought in competition to try and give him a wake-up call before the beginning of 2017.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford has lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On play action, Bradford. It's brought in by Floyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
Cook following the penalty. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys. So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
On 3rd down, Bradford. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses, understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So we're trading field goals here in the opening half. No breakthrough yet on the touchdown front. We've got a 6-3 game.
And really, I like what I've seen from both of these defenses thus far. Both have been a little more aggressive than I expected. And I think that's reflected in what we see on the scoreboard, which is no touchdowns to this point.
Let's shift now and discuss Deshaun Jackson. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback.
Now look out, Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have him a little bit off balance.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Second down, Bradford. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They do, however, have a tough third and long coming up. Working out of the gun, Bradford. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Robert Ayers with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. A reminder coming up in the Sunday night game, matchup you don't see very often, a rematch of Super Bowl 18. The Raiders traveling to Washington. And then tomorrow on Monday night, we'll see the Cowboys heading to the desert to take on the Cardinals.
Former NFC East rivals.
On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL. Is the nickel hard to throw against? That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Second down, looking to throw, Fitzpatrick. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On third down, Fitzpatrick. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
I need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Here's Sherrills. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, who is this guy? He's special. And he said, dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field.
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. And now running right through it. Space to maneuver at the 40. The 40. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Forbath out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. And break, the tight end's got it. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Second down, Fitzpatrick. They set up the screen to Martin. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-round.